the way that the story ends, or is it set in stone at this point?
The story, the main hits of the story, we're absolutely firm on.
Okay.
Yeah, certain things will happen. You know, we decided this a few years ago now.
Right.
We're on our road to that. But a lot of the detail, and certainly the treatment, you know, the actual execution of how we do things, yeah, we've had an amazing opportunity to actually polish up with the extra time that we've got available at the moment. I can't even begin to tell you how different story mode is from when we initially concepted it out a few years ago to where we're at now, and it's a hell of a lot better for it, frankly.
Excellent. Another Twitter question for you here, Andy. This one comes from A. Hire. He says, how many planets will the story evolve around in StarCraft 2 and its expansions? How many different environments can we expect?
Different environments?
Planets.
Loads. Yeah, it's another contrast with StarCraft 1. StarCraft 1, they kind of had, like, there was a jungle tile set, there was a desert tile set, there was a wasteland tile set. When doing StarCraft 2, we've basically done every world is its own tile set, so they're all distinct from each other. Over the course of the game itself, I mean, I think it's about 20. I couldn't give you an exact number off the top of my head. But yeah, there's a huge diversity in zones. We also don't pull that trick of making you revisit the same place over and over again as well. So yeah, a lot of diversity. Although we have saved some types of worlds for using the Zerg campaign and the Protoss campaign.
Probably a few surprises as well.
In the single-player campaign, how much of it is required to go through the storyline and how much of it is optional?
In the single-player campaign, you're not required to engage in anything other than picking which missions you want to play. Right. There are also mechanics for like buying upgrades for your army and so on, hiring mercenaries. They all work from the sort of story part of the game. You don't have to engage with them. It's probably wise, because by the time you get to the end of the game, upgraded army is good.
Okay.
Cutscenes, you will definitely run into cutscenes because we want you to see them because they're amazing. The rest of it, in terms of conversations, characters and so on, that's optional. You know, as I was saying earlier on, if you want to learn more about the characters themselves, what motivates them, more about the universe, then you've got an opportunity to chat with them about it and find out some more. If you're more interested in gameplay and that's your main driver, then you can get straight into the game.
Okay.
Another question, let's go right to Twitter. It's blowing up with questions for you here, Andy. Next one comes from Thomas, and he says, how many of the original voice actors will return in StarCraft 2? Talk about Kerrigan, what was happening with that, some controversy with the original actress.
Well, truth, we have some we have some announcements to make about that tomorrow. So
some surprise guests, I heard.
We have some surprise guests tomorrow. I don't want to dig in too deep to that right now. I hope you don't mind. But
stay tuned, right?
Stay tuned, indeed. I think you'll be happy with what we have to announce on the morrow.
Excellent. All right. Well, there's a StarCraft 2 lore panel, I think, tomorrow afternoon, which we will be airing live here on DirecTV, and I think people will definitely want to tune in for that one, right? Yes. Excellent. All right. Cool.
What is looking at the story and where we are going? After people have finished all the way through the single player, are people going to be left on a hook for the next game? Are you going to tie it up at the end of this? What do we have looking forward to?
The end of this game, I think, does come to a satisfactory conclusion. You know, you will feel that the story has been told, but it certainly leaves a lot of open doors to run into the expansion. You know, we hit a certain point, you're like, oh wow, that's an amazing change in the world that's happened just there. What's it going to mean is something that we deal with in the expansion. Okay. So I think people will be happy with it.
All right.
Stay tuned. All right, well, thank you so much, Andy. We will see you tomorrow, I'm sure, again, when the StarCraft 2 lore panel makes some more announcements about the game. So have a great night and enjoy the costume contest and all those things that are coming up here.
And the dance contest. Don't miss out on that.
Can't miss the dance contest. But right now, we're going to head on to look at a StarCraft 2 cinematic. Obviously, this game is one of the most beautiful ones that Blizzard has ever made. So let's look at an HD cinematic from StarCraft 2.
It's about time.
And that is StarCraft 2 coming in 2010 from Blizzard. I'm Jeff Keighley here with Cat Hunter, and now joined by our field reporter, Joe Garcia. Joe, what was it like out there?
It was crazy. I didn't expect that many people to be out there. Like, you think, okay, this is another convention. You have so many conventions go through the year. You have E3, you have CES, and then you have this. And it's like, okay, how many people are going to actually show up for this? It's one type. They think it's just one type of group of people, and it's not. I mean, you have women out there, you have men out there, and I mean families. Old to young. You have whole families. They make this an adventure kind of like Disneyland. It's like their big thing. And I was just shocked. The costumes are amazing. Have you seen the costumes?
The costumes are great.
We saw a little preview of that, and the costume contest is coming up in just minutes here on DirecTV BlizzCon. Are there any costumes that we've seen that you think have the inside edge tonight?
I think there's some out there. I heard you guys talk about it earlier about some of the guys using a lot of mechanics in their costumes, but some of those costumes with the mechanics are impressive. We had this guy, he was in a Protoss actual suit, and he was on stilts. He had to use the stage to get in and out of it, and he was carrying around 5 people with him.
It's all about the theatrics.
To get in and out of this thing. I mean, it had the lighting, the whole 9 yards. It was the most amazing costume I've seen.
Interesting.
So I was surprised to see what I saw out there, and then there was a rune walking around. Did you see that?
No, but you were telling me.
People thought it was a statue. Like, it was just sitting there, and people were taking pictures and getting in front of it and getting all comical with it, but it starts to move across the floor, and they're like, oh my God, it's not a statue. So, like, I was pretty impressed with the costumes. I was pretty shocked.
Interesting.
Lots of competition, right?
Speaking of awesome things that Blizzard makes awesome games.
Let's get back to the countdown,
Let's get back to the countdown. We actually have number 8 on the list, or we're actually up to number 7 on the list, which is Diablo 2. An oldie but a goodie, but it definitely is a game that not only was one of the most popular they ever made, people are still playing that game today on Battle.net. Did you know that?
I'm not surprised. People are still playing StarCraft. Exactly. They're playing StarCraft from a decade ago.
Diablo 1. There are still a few loyal fans out there still playing Diablo 1.
Absolutely. Exactly. I know a couple of them personally.
Right. All right, so that was number 7. Are we going to go? Well, what's number 6? Do we know what number 6 is yet, Kat?
I'm not ready to tell you.
You're not ready to tell me, Kat. All right,
I'm going to hold it back.
We're going to have to tune in later tonight to find out about that.
I'm kidding. I'll tell you. Warcraft 3, Reign of the Chaos.
Warcraft 3. That's a good one. So Warcraft 3, Diablo 2. I bet number 1 is going to be World of Warcraft. That's my guess.
No, my guess is StarCraft.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's good. They're going to be numbers 1 and number 2, right?
And you know why? Because I sat there and I voted all day long for that same thing, and I got everybody viral voting. So
all the
I'm sure
fans.
It's StarCraft.
Well, Blizzard has made a lot of great games, and this is a year actually. 2009 is going to be a year without a new Blizzard game release.
No releases, but it doesn't mean that there was a lack of any news. We just recently got out of the class panel, and I just wanted to briefly recap some of the things that happened in that panel because there was some amazing news that happened.
World of Warcraft, you were going crazy here. You guys didn't see it at home, but Kat was here twittering away. She was freaking out.
These were flurry of updates.
No mana for the hunters.
No mana for hunters anymore, which is pretty crazy.
Hunter.
We have no attack power, no spell power, no defense anymore. We have the ability to reforge your gear,
this is shocking,
which is going to be great. We have multi-gains for professions, which is going to be a lot easier. They're getting rid of levels for every single levels for all of your abilities. So you're actually going to level up as you level. Your abilities will level up as your character levels. And one thing that he did not say, but he came very close to hinting to, was the backpack, which is always 16 slots. He said that now that we are revisiting the fact in the way that you level as a character, that this is a time that they would revisit whether 16 slots is appropriate.
I was kind of happy that they were talking about the lack of rank. Like, it is kind of crazy when you have like a really low level character and you have like, you can go and use your talents on one rank and just, or on one actual power and rank it all the way up. And you have this extremely weak character with this crazy power. So it's nice that you're leveling up as you go, and it kind of suits the character and the gameplay as you go level to level to level. So you're kind of gaining something as you go, instead of just, oh yeah, I'm a level 80 now.
That's true.
So you have something new to look forward to.
Although it is going to take away from your customization of your character. So we'll see how that
Let me ask you though about, they make all these announcements, and then Mike Morheim was here earlier today. He said, hey, this, we're talking about 2010 for World of Warcraft Cataclysm. So what do players think now when they make these announcements, but they could be 12 to 18 months away or 12 to 16 months away until they actually come out? I mean, is there a lot of debate in the fan community now? Because they announce these things, but none of these things are actually happening tonight or tomorrow in World of Warcraft.
They're not happening tonight or tomorrow, but we're not exactly sure when they're happening. He didn't say if they're going to happen in Cataclysm or if they're going to be patched in potentially with 3.3. I mean, we're assuming it's going to be Cataclysm, but it could be as early as the end of this year.
We're going to have to ask that tomorrow, but right now we are going to head on over to Jay Moore. He is hosting the costume contest tonight, the dance contest, machinima contest, all those things over in the main hall. So let's head on over there for our live coverage of BlizzCon 2009.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage, Gary Blattner.
Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hey, thanks a lot, everyone. How's everyone doing? Enjoying yourself so far? Yeah? All right, I'm having fun. I love BlizzCon. This is awesome. So we're going to get going pretty soon. We're going to have our sound-alike contest, my favorite contest. You ready for that? Let's hear it. All right. We also have one of my favorite contests, the dance-along contest. You guys ready for that one? Let's hear it. Yeah. We also have one of my favorite contests, the costume contest, the world-famous costume contest. I cannot wait for that. Woo! All right. I love BlizzCon. So did you guys